winning tournaments.
All right, so second game between these two players up here on Neo Planet S. It is the red Protoss player, e.g. JYP.
And, of course, his opponent, Apollo.
Yes.
Down here in the bottom left of Neo Planet S, give it up for Jaedong.
Autosis?
Yes.
I do like JYP.
I do too. He's a really nice guy.
He's a very nice player. But for me, looking at the players that we already have in the semifinals, having anything other than Jaedong versus Stardust doesn't seem right.
It does not. Like, as nice as it would be for JYP's career to get up, play Stardust, perhaps beat him, perhaps win.
Yeah.
I think a little grudge match from the finals of the last DreamHack would be a bit more exciting for me.
And I'm pretty sure as soon as Jaedong was revealed the round of 16, should I say, bracket that happened last night, I think the first person that stuck out to him above anybody else, despite playing Vortex, despite the EG team kill which could happen, I think he looked at one name and one name alone, and that would have been Stardust.
Mm-hmm. Well, to look how this game's opening up Apollo, isn't this funny? Jaedong opens a 10 pool against a Cannon Rush. Now against a Gateway Expand, he goes for that hatchery first. Oh, poor JYP.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for JYP, but very fortunate here for Jaedong, who's got a rather good build against what his opponent is doing. As Jaedong goes in, though, and sees no natural forge, natural nexus down in that location, he will immediately throw down the extractor, which he has done to get that circling speed out, just in case of any 4 gateway plays that would to come after a nexus had been taken. But, I mean, looking at the gateway expand here, as a Protoss player, what do you prefer on this map? Gateway expand like JYP is doing, or to go for the earlier nexus?
You know, I feel like the build should actually be mixed up on most maps, and I think this is one of the maps that you should be mixing up the 2 openers. So it's kind of a cop-out, but I like to mix them here, for real. But, you know, a Gateway Expand is going to be fine because it's going to lead you into a bigger variety of aggressive options. And I think especially on this map, you're going to want to get aggressive because if you take that third base, there's a lot of surface area you have to try to cover, and it can be quite difficult.
Yeah, it's a large surface area to cover, and which may force JYP into some form of 2-base attack if he doesn't feel comfortable trying to cover those locations. And look at that.
That
off
is
one single gas. We do have this robotics facility thrown down at the back of his base.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know what build this is. It's looking right now like it's going to be you know, a couple of Mortals, maybe 6 Zealots, and go. It's a very powerful all-in from Korea. It was popular for about a week. But if you see it coming, it's definitely very stoppable.
Well, Jaedong spotted the lack of second gas inside the main base of JYP. This means that he's obviously having a lot higher of a mineral income and doesn't have that much gas. The 2 big builds that come from this are straight up 4-gate after expanding, or, as you say, a robotics facility down incredibly early here.
Well, we have a Warp Prism coming in and no Warp Gate research.
Wow.
This is getting more and more interesting. Oh, God, and Zergling's this is not what JYP wants.
How can he not have Warp Gate research here, Autosis?
Well, it's a very good question. Because as we know, the Warp Prism turns into a flying pylon under which you normally warp in units.
Oh, this is bad. This is not good. This is not good at all for JYP. And it's not even clicking that he hasn't got it. He's just expecting it to be researching now.
Yeah.
And this is a very typical nervous mistake coming out here by JYP.
Yeah, this is kind of painful. You need warp gates. It's pretty important. Protoss just really needs warp gates. It's like hard to even explain because it's such a simple thing, but I think you're right. I think he's a little bit nervous and he's falling apart a little bit, but you know, at least he's going to be able to go do immortal drops, I guess.
Maybe a couple of probes with him. I don't know how this attack's going to win. Jaedong gets in another Zergling.
Okay. Oh, if those Lings had run in there, I was just... Oh, no. And
everything is being revealed.
he's adding more gates, Apollo.
But he doesn't
with
even
no warp
have
gate
warp gate research.
Oh, poor JYP.
Oh, dearie, dearie me for JYP. This is not his series at all. And now he starts it, finally. And I can only imagine he's saying to himself, I can see him in the booth right now.
I just looked too.
And he's shaking his head.
Poor
He was
JYP.
shaking his head upon realizing that he forgot the most crucial upgrade.
Well, it's the one you never forget, so you don't even look. But yeah, he shook his head once he started it, just kind of in self-disgust. It's really sad because, you know, it's an embarrassing mistake that almost certainly will cost him this game.
And now, as you can see, Jaedong has a proxy spy here, an infestation pit to trick his opponent if there were to be a hallucinated Phoenix come in. Do you think that he's just going to? Do you think he'll use the spy here? That's the structure that is proxy.
Yeah. Well, I think he's just going to go Mutalisks.
Yeah.
Against someone with no Warp Gate and Immortals and a Warp Prism, I think Mutalisks are going to do all right.
Spine Crawlers coming down in strategic locations here to make sure that Jaedong has 2 bases, and all the gas being piled in from 4 gases, just going to be safe for Mutalisks here. And this is very, very difficult and very awkward for JYP to play from, as he's not going to spot that Spire a little bit too far out of his way.
That's too bad. That would have been his one chance to kill it and get back in this game. But it will finish up. And any amount of mutas coming out is going to be fantastic against this army that simply doesn't shoot up.
All right, well, the Spire is now complete. The Warp Prism's floating around here. We will start to see momentarily the Mutalist being made. 8 on the way. Nice pickup there from JYP, but he really hasn't accomplished anything. He's damaged a Spine Crawler. There's a counterattack going on at the same time.
Well, the counterattack doing an okay job against that gateway, but we do have a lot of Zealots coming in. The thing is, a lot of mutas on the way and a lot of Spine Crawlers to slow this attack down.
And there is no anti-air whatsoever. There's 2 Stalkers at home.
Oh, and he's warping in Zealots, Apollo.
Oh, I think he may just tap out and GG as soon as he sees the Mulus here. There is nothing. Even somehow, Zerglings enter the main base after bringing down the gateway. And now JYP sees the Mutalisk, and he hasn't got anything. He's got nothing. The Warp Prison gets targeted down immediately. And even though the Zealots are trying to break their way through the Spine Crawlers, Mutalisk here, there's no answer. GG.